Another battle scar from his long NBA's career.
The teams were discussing the contest early on. This didn't look like a dinner invitation, did it?
This year's final is a far cry from last year's bump and grind affair between the Rockets and Knicks, when neither team scored 100 points in a game. And it didn't help when one game was virtually ignored while O.J. Simpson went on his now famous freeway chase.
A one-game suspension for this. On Tuesday night in Seattle, the Magic visiting the Sonics, driving to the hoop, Shawn Kemp, and a little body contact, not much. Kemp ends up landing in the front row, hit a cameraman, suffered a cut. O'Neal was ejected from the game and fined an automatic $250 for that particular play. So he's 3 points away from a possible one-game suspension.
After spending last Friday in Detroit, the Bulls are ready for a Miami Beach vacation.
And playoff emotion has been very much in evidence. Case in point, a fourth quarter episode last night involving Patrick Ewing and Bulls assistant Jim Clemens.
Jim Clemens, it was just a spirited exchange between the two of them. That's what I saw and heard. I'm not sure exactly, but Jim mentioned, to Luke that he's got to stop Ewing from just delivering blows in the post. He's got to stand up to those elbows that he gets, and I think Patrick took offense to that.
It's very heated, very spirited confrontation that we have, and both teams play hard, both teams respect each other, but there's only going to be one winner.
I think as a player, the last thing you want is another opposing coach, making gestures and coming at you. You have to use the proper judgment with that kind of stuff, but a lot of times your emotions take you to a bad situation.
And perhaps as a coach, the last thing you want is a player in your face, as happened in your series with the Knicks. Game 3, Terrell Brandon, your point guard, picks up his 5th foul. John Starks in your mug saying that's 5 on your point guard, Mike.
Well, Derek may have forgotten about the fourth quarter with 4 minutes remaining. That Starks was kind enough to come over and remind me that my starting point guard picked up his 5th foul and that maybe I want to take him out and save him for the last 2 minutes of the game.
Michael Cooper and Magic Johnson. A foul. And here's McAdoo and Bannon going at each other. And Darryl Garrettson, like a defensive tackle, has just shoved 3 or 4 players away as Bannon and McAdoo started to throw fists. They'll have to quiet this down. But I'll tell you one thing, it's understandable that the fuses are short in this ball game. The Lakers trying to wrap it up.
Let's see if we can see what happened here. Here's Magic going up, and there's McAdoo giving Bannon, and Bannon's giving it back.
Pat Riley and Billy Cunningham, both coaches are on the floor. Riley with McAdoo at about center court, and Cunningham, peace has been restored, and talking to Bannon on the sidelines. For Philadelphia, they have played 7 more playoff games than the Lakers, who have been incredible. They swept Phoenix to the Lakers. They swept San Antonio and lead 3-2 in this series.
Here. There.
And they called the foul on Caldwell Jones, his 4th.
And so the extracurricular activities will not play a part. They just tell the guys, all right, guys, cool off.
Bobby wants a timeout. Philadelphia can't solve this one. They're in trouble with the trap.
And Tony bounced it off of one of the Lakers' legs so they could retain control, because he was definitely trapped.
These teams are not friendly.
Not anymore. They may have started out that way, but the longer you go, the more the little animosities build up.
Over the pass, Stoudemire on the dribble. David Stoudemire crosses to the right hand. Under the basket now to Camby. Camby gets clobbered in front and from behind. Marcus Camby doesn't like John Barry.
I tell you what happened.
Top of him right away. And Camby got him from behind, and now there's a bunch of pushing and shoving underneath the basket. Sharon Wright went running on the floor. He was going to go down and help the youngster.
Well, Dick Bavetta, again, here's an example of a senior official. Sharon Wright can get in big-time trouble coming off that bench and running on the court. That's a no-no. That's something that you just do not do. And Dick Bavetta kind of looked at him and said, hey, you get back there, Sharon, or we're going to have some problems here. But John Barry went right over the back Marcus
tell you what
Camby,
happened.
and his elbow hit him in the head as he was coming down.
Camby crunched him on the pick to free Doug Christie, and John Barry didn't even make an attempt at trying to catch up to Doug Christie. He just went right after Marcus Camby and took a hard foul. And Camby made the comment in New York, every time he goes to the cup, goes to the basket, he's picking himself up off the ground. And you know what? He wasn't taking it from a little 6'3", 6'4" guard.
No way, indeed. That pass in from Stoudemire, Camby went down, was going up, and I mean, Barry was already in the air going at him, and he took him out not only with the elbow to the head, but he also took a shot with the legs to the midsection, and then they went at it underneath the basket. So going to the line will be Marcus Camby.
Personal foul called against the Hawks, number 17.
So Barry gets a foul, his second of the ball game, and the third team foul.
Called against the Hawks, number 17, John Barry, and the Raptors, number 21.
And both Camby and Barry get technical fouls. So Camby will go to the line, first of all, here for a pair.
And this is not like football where you kind of throw personal fouls on both people.
A year ago, the underdog Seattle Supersonics went nose-to-nose with the best in the West.
Look at that speed.
Adams carries it out of bounds. Now Chambers has a few words as Tempers begin to flare. Fat Lever walks away.
Smart.
As does Chambers. Got a 20-second timeout to talk things over, and that's a good call, too, to let Tempers cool down a little bit. So far, it's been all Seattle, and Denver's going to have to make a charge now. This is Adams. Back to Fat Lever. Lever has struggled today as well. Gets the first step, has the open shot, still can't hit.
Can't buy one.
He's 1 for 13 now. Adams cross-court pass to Johnson. And again, Tempers flare. This time it's Shays and Xavier McDaniel. And they're going to call the foul, I believe, on McDaniel for the push.
Well, what Xavier's talking about is he got called for, as most times happens, you get called when you make the second blow. The guy that gets in the first mat very seldom is seen.
New 24-second clock. Evans now, guarded by Chambers.
See the switch out front that time by Seattle. Worked on it yesterday in practice. They're doing a good job with it.
McDaniel with a rebound.
They make level. They're trying to get level to pick the ball up about 10 feet past the three-point circle.
2:08 to go, and foul is called. And now Lucas and Sampson have to be separated. And now Olajuwon gets into the act with Lucas. And they better stop this in a hurry. Tommy, we can have a big problem here.
Well, there's a little intimidation that the Sonics are trying to use on the Rockets right now to get the Rockets so emotional that they'll stop thinking about what they're doing. And that is a big plus if they can do it, the Sonics. The Rockets should keep their cool right now and go and do it the way you're supposed to do it, with baskets and not with tempers.
Well, both Olajuwon and Sampson were ejected twice last year against Seattle. Here's where this started.
They can use all the fouls. They've got three guys that they can throw in down that low post, and they're going to be very physical. Sampson has to keep his cool.
A technical foul has been called on both Maurice Lucas and, I believe, Hakeem Olajuwon. So a technical on both of those players and a personal foul against Maurice Lucas. Lucas has been known as the enforcer since he came into the league 13 years ago. He played with the Lakers a year ago and could very well, if the Sonics are successful in this series, go against his last team, the Lakers, in the Western Final.
I think he'd like nothing better.
Point game with a lot of time remaining. The score. And now Reed and Ellis shove each other. Ellis committing the foul, his third and second team foul on the Sonics. Houston has committed only one team foul in this fourth period. And in the shove, actually it was Ellis doing the shoving.
easy baskets. They've been forced to the low post game with the double teams.
McDaniel has 5. Olajuwon and Sampson each have 4. And McDaniel and Olajuwon pointing fingers. We haven't had any outbreak in this game, but we've come awfully close on several occasions. Now in the overtime, each team has 3 fouls to give, and each team gets 3 timeouts.
That's just a little verbal intimidation, trying to get Olajuwon to get upset. Look at this, McDaniel taking on Olajuwon. That's heavy-duty stuff.
Cedric Maxwell.
And Stockton throws it away. Worthy. Fouled by Ivaroni, and the two jawed at each other for the moment. And then they walked away.
Now the question is that this referee, Jess Kersey, has to decide, was that a breakaway foul or not? Did he make a true effort to knock that ball free?
Ivaroni commits his 3rd.
Now let's take a look at the position on the court. I'll tell you what, I think that's a breakaway foul because he never really had a chance. He's coming from behind. He does try to go.
Yeah, that you can tell by the front that it's a breakaway foul. He got him around the neck, and I think that chop around the neck is what upset Worthy.
Good reason.
Gotti's in the corner, has it. Oops, holding foul, I think inside.
Harp and Vin Baker going at it. He stepped out. What, they got a double? No.
I think it's on Vin Baker. Yeah, I think that technical foul on Baker, yeah.
He and Harper got tangled up. I think he threw an elbow at Harp going through the middle.
He did last time. He got the rebound when they were coming up the floor, and Luke was behind him. It looked like, to me, it looked like he threw an elbow at Luke.
Just keeps coming at you. Game is tied at 21. Ward saw the opening and is walloped by Curry. Crowd reacts looking for a flagrant foul. But it will not be. And here's Terry Mills checking in for the first time.
Well, with Charlie's collegiate football career going the way it went, why, it was a little bump. No big deal for Charlie Ward, the former Heisman Trophy winner. He knew it was coming, too, and he protected himself. Shook it off.
Indywidualnym z wszystkich koszykarzy NBA. Dziś ponownie spotkanie.
Olajuwon ran into one of Bill Cartwright's elbows and missed the next 8 weeks. A mini controversy developed over Cartwright's style of play, but did little to disturb the Bulls' momentum.